And welcome to the Escape with Nick and Adam. My name is Nick.
And I'm Adam. That's all I got to say right now, man.
And we're still waking up.
I'm still got icing on my feet. Yeah. Still waking up in the midday. What?
So welcome to the Escape, where we cover entertainment, sci-fi, comics, action figures, pop culture, and everything nerdy. Adam, wasn't sure like kind of what we were talking about today, and then we had some bad news drop the other day. We had a legend pass, and it kind of hurt me. It hurt me really bad, like more than when a celebrity's pass, you're like, yeah, that sucks. But like when I saw Carl Weathers die, I went like, ugh, like that was in the gut. I'm like, oh no, like just because he was doing the con circuit for a while there, and it's one of those like I was like 50-50 to meet him last time, and I'm like, and ultimately decided not to, and I'm just like, it's kind of like how I felt when like Roddy Piper died, where I'm just like, man, I've got a list going out of celebrities who have passed where I'm like, man, I really wish I would have taken the opportunity. Roddy Piper, Adam West, and now unfortunately Carl Weathers goes on the list of guys. I was like, man, I really wish I would have ponied up the extra few bucks and gone and met him, because he's just one of those guys where, especially on the con circuit, you hear, hey, that guy's kind of an ass. That guy's, or this person's super sweet, or this one's whatever. I had never heard anybody ever say a bad word about Carl Weathers.
No, actually, you mentioned him being on the con circuit. There's a picture of him and my nephew and my brother-in-law up in their house at my sister's house from the Motor City Comic Con whenever he was here last. Yeah, man, it's Apollo. Whew. It's
Apollo. It's Chubbs
from Predator.
I don't remember his character's name from Predator, Chubb. But it was like, go down the list.
Who was Chubb? Who was he as Chubbs?
Happy Gilmore.
Right. Okay.
And it's just like talk about like you're like this.
He was hysterical in Happy Gilmore.
And this, and you're like, oh my, just like that. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot. I was like, and this, and this, and this. Hold on. Excuse me, sir.
I think he should let the dog join the show.
No, I was trying to. Okay, so I still have my Lawson Ninja Turtles in the package, because I might take those to have them sign next month or in a couple weeks. And I'm just like, and if I can avoid the puppy from chewing on them, that would be great. So,
yeah.
There you go, Adam.
That's the puppy?
This is Peanut Buster.
What's the puppy's name again?
Peanut Buster Parfait, or Peanut.
Hello, Peanut Buster Parfait.
Get it. All right, thank you.
He's a good boy.
He's a terror. Potty training's not going well, so lots of swiffering. So, but anyway, Adam.
A lot of beating him, I'm sure.
No, because I can't catch him in the act. There's no sense of beating him if he doesn't know why he's being beaten. I'm joking.
There's no sense of beating him. I know you are.
Well, there's no sense in like trying to correct him when you catch him too late after the fact and be like, he's like, why am I being whatever put outside or put in my crate? It's like, it's useless. So, and he is a tornado of terror where you're like, how are you terrorizing so many things at one time, like biting me right now? And would you stop, please? Are you happy now? No, he's still back.
And the show has taken another.
Welcome our new co-host, Peanut Buster Parfait. Anything you'd like to say? Ow!
Peanut Buster Parfait.
Ow! 'You won't ow woo. Ow! 'You won't ow woo. 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 'You
Oh boy. You're hearing it first here, kids.
There it is.
Hey, and that's a salute for Carl Weathers, man.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's a salute for Carl Weathers.
So I didn't want to make it all about Carl Weathers, but I figured we at least go down like some of the iconic stuff that Carl Weathers has done. So let me pull up his IMDb real quick because, like I said, there's things you forget that he's in. So, Adam, if you had to pick a role, which do you have a favorite Carl Weathers role?
No, Apollo Creed. Yeah, it's Apollo Creed.
I
know that's the obvious one, but
it's not obvious because he's in so many things. Like I love him as Chubbs, like Happy Gilmore top. How is Happy Gilmore only rated a 7 on IMDb? That's almost like it should be at least a 9. At least a 9. Okay. So he's Dylan in Predator. I think that's like Happy Gilmore's Chubbs and Dylan, like that's a close. And then like a close third is like he was in the first 4 Rocky movies.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
I mean, he got killed in the 4th one, but I think he might
say they only made 5.
I made more, but it was like, holy jeez. Okay.
Well, he got killed by the Russian. You know,
yeah, Drago, but I think he had like they used extra footage of him. Would you get out of there? Using extra footage of him. So, and also
badass.
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, it's the one thing that was cool, like when the one, I don't know if you call it silver lining out of Mickey dying or whatever, is when Rocky and Apollo started training together. You had Rocky and Apollo running on the beach together. Like, you know, I mean, that was dun, 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 dun. That's what I'm hearing in my head, you know.
Well, and the shame, like you can't even it's funny you bring up that training scene because I don't think you could even do that scene today without there being some type of like homosexual overtones. Where I was like, no, like there was a time where like 2 dudes could train and just be friends, and there was nothing else to it, nothing. So, but God,
but like that Nightwing thing you sent me the other day. Look how good looking I am. I must be a little queer.
That's why I was like,
what the hell?
But that's,
and I didn't call the guy queer. That was in the writing.
No, that's insane. I was like, but that's almost the mindset where it's like, well, I'm so attracted. Like it's so narcissistic where I'm like, holy, like, good God. Like it's annoying where like I don't know if you've seen RRR. It's a Bollywood movie that came out last year. And like it was just about 2 guys being friends. That's it. Like it was so refreshing to be like, hey, there's 2 guys. They spend a lot of time together because they're friends. Nothing else. And it's like it's almost so refreshing to get that in a movie, but you're not going to get it from Hollywood. I'm just like, how hard is it to just have 2 guys just be friends? I don't understand why. But also, he made, his he's acted and directed in the Mandalorian series as well. And one of the things I'll give that earned so much respect for me was like he was one of the few people who stood up for Gina Carano when she was getting canceled. He was one of the few people when everybody was bashing her. It was, everybody was going after her. People who, knew her but didn't want to lose her jobs. He's one of the few people who said, "No, she's great. I had no problems with her. Like, no, she's a sweetheart. And he was one of the few people who actually reached out to her afterwards and said, hey, like, this will pass. Like, you got to, hang with it because, literally damn near the whole world, like Twitter or whatever you want to say was against her and trying to get their pound of flesh. And it was a shame. And I just respect the hell out of, there's some people that I'm pretty upset did not step up, like Jon Favreau. Could have easily said, hey, no, like, we're not doing this. But he let it happen. And Carl Weathers, Giancarlo Esposito, like, those are the few people who kind of popped over. I said, no, she's good. I'm not going to let you bash her. I have no problem with, any of that. So that's one reason. And he just always seemed like a stand-up guy like that. He always just seemed like no agenda, just like, I'm here to work. I'm here to do my business. I'm going to be professional. That's what you're going to get. And that's just how it always seemed. Like I said, and you never heard like drama behind the scenes, like, oh, he's this or that. And you can tell just from the amount of outpouring from, Sly came out, Arnold came out, like everybody, had something, positive to say. And you knew it wasn't forced. It wasn't Hollywood, crap. It was always just like everybody who had an interaction with that guy, it was positive.
Yeah, he will be missed.
Yeah.
He will be missed.
So, all right. So, what do you want to talk about next, Adam?
Carl Weathers, we salute you.
We salute you, and we love you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for all the awesome content. Thank you for Apollo. Thank you for Predator. Thank you for a good character in Mandalorian. And thank you for Nick Chubbs.
Took my damn hand.
Yep.
So, what do you want to move?
I want to talk about next.
Yeah. You got anything?
I don't know.
Time? Okay. You still at the brain fog from Nappy?
I was going to say, I've watched Masters of the Universe Revolution for the third time. And I've noticed the She-Ra setup even more.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Because I saw
your audio cut out for a second, or my audio cut out.
That's okay. I watched Masters of the Universe Revolution for the third time.
Nice.
And in the scene where they flash back, and you can, like I said, Hordak's carrying something. It's got to be a baby. Well, there's two cribs in the scene. Both cribs are laid onto the ground, I think. Marlena's got a baby in her arms. Skeletor's over, knocked off the ground. And then next to each crib, one has a stuffed animal Cringer. The other one has a stuffed animal unicorn, which was what She-Ra flew on. So that's definitely the kidnapping of baby Adora. And I keep forgetting to bring this up. I forgot to bring it up on the first time we talked about Masters of the Universe Revolution. I'm not going to forget to talk about it now. At the end, did you notice, am I the only guy who noticed when He-Man gave his speech, that if the forces of evil should ever strike the heart of Eternals again, I will be there, that was straight out of 1989 Batman. He left us a signal. How do we call him?
So a little Batman reference
word for word. Yeah, word for word, an 89 Batman reference in there.
Nice.
Which I thought was neat.
So, yeah, I didn't watch that again.
Just a couple little dorky things.
Sure. I didn't watch again. But all I've heard is, for the most part, is the people who did come back really enjoyed Revolution. They're still you're not going to get all the fans back once you piss the fans off, unfortunately. I think, Revelations push some fans away. But, I mean, to those people I say,
Tomatoes.
Yeah, but Rotten Tomatoes has been compromised for about the last couple of years. So, but it's one of those.
How's it doing on IMDb?
Let's check. But it is one of those things where, unfortunately, some people get blackpilled on things, and unfortunate. Why? IMDb has gotten worse. I type in He-Man. I'm at REVOL Rev. I have the Human Revolution. I was like, no, you would think if I type in He-Man Revolution, that would be enough, and I get the Matrix Revolution.
Masters of the Universe Revolution. He-Man's not in the title.
I know, but it should know what I'm trying to say.
True.
All right,
it is
so IMDb, it's still at a 7.7. I think it's down a tenth of a point from last time, or it might be up a little bit. But either way, I think that's pretty accurate. It's almost an 8. I forget exactly what I think you gave it a 9. I think I was right around an 8. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's
well, good.
Yeah, it's one of those. Hey, it sucks if you got blackpilled on Revelation, because Revolution, it's fun. It's not perfect, but there's a lot of stuff.
I still really enjoy Revelation.
Yeah, I don't, but I know a lot of people didn't, and a lot of people did. So, but I was more speaking to the fans who it did push away. So. But if you're one of those, if you're on the fence, is it good? Should I check it out? Yes, you should definitely go check out Revolution. Do I ask you to forgive, Kevin Smith what he did? No, I do not. But he did make an enjoyable show. So, all right. So all right, Adam. There's been I think you're a little bit more of a gamer than I am at this point. Have you heard about?
Nope.
The Suicide Squad killed Justice League. Okay.
I've heard some good things. Well, one guy at work is playing it.
Okay. So, as I'm sure you're aware, this is Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, developed by Rocksteady Games, published by Warner Brothers, as an action shooter set in the universe of the Batman Arkham series, which I think you played all those games, correct?
I did. It is part of the bet. Is it saying that it is?
Yes, canon? It is. It is Batman Arkham. So now, as I'm sure you also know, this was supposed to be Kevin Conroy's kind of swan song as him playing Batman. Now, I'll put that in quotes, his last time playing Batman, because we'll leave that first. We'll put a pin in that, as people say. So, do you know what happens, Adam?
No. I know that Batman takes the Arkham Knight.
So, he gets executed by the Justice League, specifically by one Harley Quinn.
Batman does?
Yes. He gets shot in the face.
Wow, cool.
So
that's wild.
Yeah, and I think so. There's a bit of an uproar because everybody's saying, "Hey, you're kind of doing Kevin Conroy dirty as by doing this," but also Kevin Conroy kind of knew what he was voicing, right? But also, I think a lot of game people are like,
right.
"Hey, how about you not be the last thing that Kevin Conroy does?" Like the dude just died. How about we not have him get shot in the face as well as Batman? Because I think a lot of people have you're shooting Kevin Conroy in the face, and the dude died of cancer? I think he died of. And it's just like, can we not
cancer?
Can we not? Yeah, I think a lot of fans are like, can we not have that, please?
It does hit a little close to home, but I mean, Kevin Conroy knew the plot of the story. Let's see the story as it was supposed to be. He was an actor; he would know,
right? And I don't think he had an issue.
But I get the irony though. Like,
well, I think, and it's okay. So
is this a little too dark?
Well, and I think a lot of people upset because a lot of people say, "Hey, as last act of Kevin Conroy's Batman, how about we not have him get shot in the face?" Oh, and also, how about we not piss on the Flash? Literally. Please, let's not do that. Yeah, so
If there's a Miller Flash, they could piss all day.
no, apparently it's just Arkham World Flash, but
I know.
But it's okay. So one moment, please. I have a puppy issue.
He's got an issue with his puppy.
Okay.
I remember when Nick got that dog. He said, Adam, if I get that dog, we were walking in downtown. And he said, Adam, if I get that dog, I'm gonna name it Stains on account of the patches on his back. And he got that dog and brought it home. He started playing fetch, and I still hear Nick screaming, "Come Stains, come Stains!" And you come home and see Stains on Nick's bed.
Who is that again?
You remember that song?
Who was that? Who was that? That was
Red Peters. Was it Red Peters or was it
That wasn't Red Peters.
Something like that.
But anyway, so getting back to the Kill the Justice League. So what was trending on Google the next day, Adam? How do I get my refund from Kill the Justice League? So I think it turned a lot of fans off because they leaked clips from it, and I think a lot of people are not happy with Rocksteady. So
no, I guess you can't make everyone happy.
I don't think they made anybody happy with this game. Sounds like there was enough uproar where it was everybody's like, "Hey, yeah, let's not do this." There's few times when the fan community comes together and says, "Let's not do this, please," and this is one. So,
I don't think they knew Kevin Conroy was going to die, though.
Well, and I think it's one of those like, hey guys, how about let's just not do this, please. The fans are like, let's not. So that being said, so everybody was upset about that as people on X and Twitter tend to do. And so what happens next is somehow now Kevin Conroy's last official thing now is he's supposed to be playing Batman in Batman the animated series Crisis on Infinite Earths 3. So that's supposed to be his last official thing now. So somehow that kind of got pulled out of this can't be his last thing. So now this is going to be, I guess, his official last thing. So.
Crisis on Infinite Earths 3? I didn't know there was a 1 and 2.
Who knew?
Cool. I have something to watch tonight, kids.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
What's in your hand? What's in the box?
Oh, it was the puppy took a pen and then took out in the living room. And my wife's like, "Hey, do you need this?" I was like, maybe. So she just threw that to me.
So I watched a Robot Chicken.
Oh, okay.
Sketch today, and it had the Ninja Turtles and Shredder in it.
Nice.
And Shredder whips out a straw and chucks it at one of the turtles, gets him right in the eye, and kills him. They're like, "Oh my god, what was that?" And he was like, "I got the secret weapon. Straws do kill turtles." And he killed all of them with straws, and it was messed up.
I love Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken is perfect for me because I have a short attention span, and sometimes it's like I don't need like sometimes watching Family Guy is fine, but like sometimes you know what, you got a joke, let's get your joke, let's get in, let's get out, make it funny. That's why I love Robot Chicken. Yeah. A skit can be like a minute or it can be like 15 seconds. It's like social media before like social media took over. So
Social media is bad for ya.
So, what else we have here? So, do you want to talk about Disney casting news, or do you want to? Yeah, let's talk about Disney casting news. So once again, hold on. Let's check on
And speaking
Disney.
of Disney casting news, Margot Robbie is nude.
She was
Robbie
nude before
in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I was saying she's nude in that. So let's check on Disney real quick. All right, just want to make sure. Yep, still on fire. So, Adam, they're finally.
Nothing happened on my side.
Well, it's not my fault.
Do it again.
Okay. How about that time?
All right.
Okay.
It worked that time.
All right. So it looks like they're reuniting the cast of Daredevil in Daredevil Reborn. So it looks like they're bringing everybody back, which is Foggy.
Yes, and that I'm happy about. I have something to say about that.
Okay. Or Daredevil Born Again. Sorry, I think I said
you to
Reborn.
shut up. Daredevil Born Again, Reborn. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think it's great because the original plan for that show was him not to be Daredevil from the Netflix universe, but
Right.
I guess it's confirmed now that he is the Daredevil from the Netflix universe. I guess Kevin Feige is getting more power back over there. So that's a step in the right direction. With Kevin Feige still alive and still young, they could really write this shit. You know, just as long as he gets his authority back.
You have faith in Kevin Feige at this point?
Kevin Feige lost his power when the other guy came in. He decided to have all the shows. What was his name? The guy who plays Bob Iger.
You're blaming Bob Chapek?
Bob Chapek. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody knows it's Bob Chapek.
No.
He got, with Bob Chapek.
Everything that's come out was greenlit by Iger. Chapek was the fault. He wasn't there long. He didn't care about Marvel.
When Chapek came, along came people people that Feige had to answer to. That's no secret.
Adam, every single thing that has been from 4 or 5 Disney Plus, that's all Iger. Iger greenlit every single one of these things.
Yeah, but he wasn't there on the field as they played out.
No, neither was Iger.
And neither was Feige.
This is all Feige. That's the problem. This is all Feige. I don't have any faith
that he could restore the universe.
No, absolutely not. He's the one who came out and said he came out and said, I want more women, superheroes. And everybody's like, why don't we just take the women heroes that you have instead of injecting, female heroes? Why don't you just, there's plenty to use. You don't need to just start cramming characters in. That's why you have the term MCU now. Because that's what this was Feige's plan. He wanted to come along and put all this stuff in. This is a combination of Iger and Feige. This is all their plan. Chapek wasn't there long enough to have any power over any Marvel stuff.
Well, that's not what I heard. I heard on the streets that anyways, doesn't matter. I'm happy about Daredevil being the original Daredevil. And so that's the way they keep it.
Well, that's the thing. It's cool. You can get the gang back together, but if you're not going to do what you did in season 1 and 2 of Netflix's Daredevil, because I'll be honest, I don't even know if I've made it through season 3 of Daredevil. It's not nearly as good, but I don't think they're going to go back to season 1 and 2 of Daredevil, just the grittiness of it. I don't think you can. but that's the plan. So it looks like they are bringing John Barenthal back. They're bringing Vincent D'Onofrio back. Who else? Deborah Ann Wool. It's on IMDb, so this is what I'm going off of. Eldon Henson is Foggy, and obviously Charlie Cox as Daredevil. They have Margarita LaViva, but they don't have what her character is supposed to be. And they have Wilson Bethel coming back as Dex Poindexter.
Who was Elektra? Was it maybe that chick's Elektra?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because I don't. Because there's no point. Everybody else has a cast thing except for her. Let me see if I can dig a little bit farther in here. And she's in the Acolyte as well. Yeah, I don't know who this is. Yeah, because it's got to be Elektra, I guess. Unless Wilson Fitch. Yeah, because there's no one else. Because she's got second billing, but she doesn't have a title, so that she has to be Elektra. Are they having what's her name come back as the night nurse? Rosario Dawson. I don't see Rosario Dawson. She might be Rosario
Dawson.
But it's Margarita. She's got to be. Has to be Elektra.
Ask Alexa.
I say I'm gonna see if I can Google it real quick and see what pops up.
You have two Michelangelos there, or is that just the red showing up as orange on the Raphael?
I've got several. Leo, Raph, Mikey, Raph.
Okay,
Winter,
Raph.
April, Donnie, Leo. There are two different series of the same thing there, but oh, she's Russian.
Spy. She's a spy.
Okay, so they have this is from a Yahoo article. Who is Margarita LaViva playing Daredevil? They have her rumored as playing Heather Glenn, and I am not a big enough Daredevil person to tell you who that is. So
too much of a deep cut. Well, let's see, Heather Glenn, huh?
I guess so. Were you ever a big Daredevil comic guy?
Heather Glenn. I didn't buy the comics, but I always liked the character.
All right.
I like the character since I've seen him in a Hulk movie, one of those made-for-TV Hulk movies back in the 80s.
Right. Heather Glenn. Heather Glenn was the flighty, fun-loving former girlfriend of Matt Murdock. The socialite was quite a contrast of the solemn crime fighter, but helped him finance the legal Heather. Briefly dated Tony Stark. Blah 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 blah. So it sounds like she's just kind of like
never mind
a flighty, but Disney 2024. She's going to be a girl boss and she's going to like beat up Kingpin or something. So anyway, that's my shot. So your faith in at this point, prove me wrong. So
listen to him. He's like, Well, come on, man. How bad can it? How bad can it? I mean, it can only get better.
Did you watch
or
Echo
at this point, right?
Did you watch Girl
No,
Best Echo? Yeah, it's freaking. It's a joke. Then Marvel's a joke at this point, and everything they're like, this is gonna save, like, guys. So many people. The problem is no one cares. You've got. It's almost how like the Detroit Lions were a handful of years ago. You have apathy. You're like, here's the next thing, and you have people going, I don't care. You have apathy. You have an apathetic fan base.
I think you used almost the wrong example there. I mean, winning solves a lot.
Correct.
Look what the whole country was pulling for the Lions.
Correct.
You know,
but it took a year and a half of solid evidence, and even then, like, they still have people going at the end. Yeah, everybody likes the story, the comeback story.
No, you're always
the resurrection story. But my thing is, like, right now you have a lot of people are saying I just don't care, and by the way the economy is going, people are like, it's got to be, trying to. It's like people are trying to like replicate what they did for 10 years, and like you can't replicate that. You can't do that again. You simply can't.
Oh no, I agree. I'm just saying you can make a good Daredevil story. That's where I was coming from. I was
absolutely can. You
and
absolutely
I think
can.
And I think you can write this ship if you make a good Fantastic Four movie, which they don't sound like they're gonna do. So it doesn't matter.
Well, that's it.
I think the idea of Pedro Pascal playing Mr. Fantastic is fucking bullshit.
Well, and that's where I'm confused as to where your optimism is coming from, and then you immediately go like, "This is the problem."
Well, you brought up Daredevil. That was where my optimism was coming from. All right.
Right.
I really look like a guy with a plan.
No, and
I'm like a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught it.
I know, but I was like, a pretty good, Marvel TV show is not gonna bring people back. Like you need
okay. You asked me earlier.
Evidence of a long duration plan.
Excuse my ADD brain, but you did ask me earlier. What do I want to talk about? Something just popped into my head here. Have you seen the trailer for the new Joker movie? Is it real? Is that a real trailer? It says official.
I can slap guaranteed on it. I can shoot the box and slap guaranteed on it, but
I know, but if Lady Gaga's voiceover is really like the lines and what's delivered in that movie, she sounds like shit.
I think I think if there were a Joker 2 trailer, I think I'd have heard about it, but
well, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, what did you see?
What the fuck this thing says? What a juicy! I'm not juicy. I'm looking it up right now. Joker.
Hold on. Well, that's 2 weeks ago. So. Hold on. Okay, so I do see a trailer that came out 2 weeks ago, and I the first comment is, I'm so glad this isn't the real trailer. So.
Good.
Yeah, because and there's the top two things are from a channel called Screen Culture, and they pretty much both say like, yeah. This is not true.
Okay, well, good.
Why are you being a terror?
A terror that flaps in the night?
Something like that. So, and three things below that, they have a Popeye the Sailor Man as Will Smith as Popeye the Sailor. What is happening?
Maybe I'm becoming one of those old men that can't tell the difference between fake and real on the internet.
Oh, dude, that's a long time. Like, that's why, like, you're like, anytime like something comes up, I gotta go like, hold up, wait a minute. Like, let's hold on. Give me a few minutes here, because Yeah, I don't think I saw anything about Joker 2 trailer.
All right. Well, good, because it was awful.
Yeah, there's a bunch that pop up, but it all looks like it's all fan made stuff.
Okay. I feel better. Of course, I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm going to go see this movie and not feel good when I come out of it.
Madam Web?
I came out of the first one like, no, I don't mean like that. I walked out of the first time I saw Joker, I was like, that's a good movie. I need some Looney Tunes cartoons right now. Like, I do not feel good.
As my wife goes,
I
need a pellet cleanser.
Yes, I need something like a palate cleanser. That was. Then I remember I was driving to my next destination, and as I parked, I was quiet, just had the radio on, whatever, and I was like, "Well, Heath Ledger's in no danger of being replaced as the best Joker because this was just totally fucking weird." You know what I mean? I'm having that kind of conversation.
Well, and I also have to be
I
like,
think I ended up in the hospital that night.
And you also have to be like, wait, the guy from Road Trip made this in Old School?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? The director from Old School and Road Trip made that?
Yeah, Todd Phillips. He's a comedy guy.
I didn't know that was. Yeah.
So.
Well, wow. It certainly was a feel-good movie.
Yeah, that'll make you feel something.
Jump.
Right. Yes, it makes me feel very much like a Crisscross hit from the early 90s.
Yeah.
But
that's why I still wear my clothes backwards.
Well, yeah. I wore my pants backwards one time. I was like, that was dumb. How am I supposed to pee?
Did you really?
I was a kid.
That's funny.
I was lost. Not that I'm found, but I was lost.
I was lost.
So, all right. Anything else you want to talk about? I missed the bus.
Nothing that comes to mind.
All right. So we'll get to something I have been watching. I'm kind of plowing through it because I heard, this show that just ended really stuck the landing. How many times you hear that, Adam?
Yeah.
So I'm watching.
2 times.
Yeah, I said not too often.
One time.
Usually it's like, hey, great series, but that finale sucked. So, show.
So I was off the path for sure all the time, man.
So, the show is For All Mankind. It's on Apple TV Plus, and it was one of those when it first came out. I was like, this sounds really cool. Alternate history. What if Russia beat us to the moon? What if we had done things differently in the past? I'm like, okay. I wasn't a big fan. The reason I didn't kind of keep up with the series is because there's a bunch of time jumps, and it was a little bit hard for me to keep up with. I was like, if it's good, I'll catch up with it later, and that's what I'm trying to do now. Okay, so it's got 4 seasons. The first 2 seasons are, I think, pretty good, but is that like a woke show? It is. It sure is woke. It is woke as hell because it's kind of like in the same way, like it tries to kind of be Star Trek-y, but not, where it's like, yes, like it tries to correct a lot of things that went wrong in history, but also when we need something to happen, we're going to lean on racism and misogyny. And I'm just like, why? Why? If you're trying to be progressive, be progressive. Don't we need an asshole. So our main character, when we need him to, he's going to be the hero, but also when we need him to, he's going to be a racist prick and a misogynist and, homophobic and all these other things. I'm just like, prime example. So
you know what I've always pictured?
What's up?
You know what I've always pictured with the word homophobic? Just like some dude cowering in the corner, shaking like Jagger to be like, "There's gays out there! I can't go!"
no.
Yeah, I always imagine like someone's like, "You're gay," and then he jumps and then he skedaddles like a cat. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
talking about like just
Yeah.
the wrong word. But so prime example are two of our main protagonists. We have Ed, who's Korean veteran, was an Apollo veteran all the way up to the point where they're trying to decide who's going to be the first person to lead the expedition to Mars. So this is the big thing. We've landed on the moon. We've had bases. We've done the whole thing. We're going to Mars. And we have Ed's up for it and Danny. Danny is an African-American female, one of the first of the female astronauts that they really pushed for diversity in the 60s. So they brought on a bunch of women astronauts. Cool. Equality, all that stuff. So when it comes to, there's kind of a battle for those two. So now you're talking, because each season's like a decade. First season's the 60s, second one, like 60s, 70s, late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. So season 3 is Mars. So you're talking in the 90s. And so you have Ed and Danny going up for who's going to be the first to lead. Like he's the old school. He's test pilot, combat veteran. Danny is scientist, does everything by the book, blah, blah, blah. Ed originally gets picked, and then eventually the NASA overrules Danny. So what does Ed say? Well, mind you, this is someone, they've been colleagues now for 25 years at this point. What does he say? Well, you're just a diversity hire. It's like, that's not something you would say to someone who you've worked with for 25 years. If you want him to be an asshole, that's fine.
Aside.
If you want him to be, hey, I'm a better astronaut than you, just say that. Don't be like, no, you're only here because you're a diversity hire. It's like, she's been there 25 years. You've worked with her for 25 years. You wouldn't say that. And that's just season 3, it is hot garbage when it comes to stuff like that.
Kind of sounded like Ben Grimm and Mr. Fantastic's relationship until you said that.
Well, yeah, you would think like, hey, we've been astronauts training the same for 25 years. You would never say that to someone you've been doing the same job with for 25 years. Your only reason here is because you're black and you're a female.
Right.
That's bullshit. That's a bullshit take, and that's what drives me nuts. Especially, it seems, well, throughout the whole entire series, like when they need to kick a guy, usually, hey, we're going to kick Ed, and whatever we need him to be, we're going to make him racist, we're going to make him misogynistic, we're going to make him homophobic, and it's just like, okay. And it season 3 is kind of dumb. I'm getting into season 4. It's last season. I'm going to finish it up, but it is very much like if you're going to be progressive, then be progressive. Don't just pick your spots to be, to use the issues that you're trying to get past. So, and especially in the 90s, like homophobia in the 90s, it's like, dude, I was there. In the mid 90s, it was kind of like, okay, been dealing with this since the 80s. It's like today, people are like, I'm gay, and I'm like, still don't care.
It's been on every sitcom, damn it, forever.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. It's and that's why when a show brings it up, like it's a big deal, and it's like for like that much of the population, but everybody who's growing up with it at this point, it's like, guys, like, and by the way, there's black and whites, date. Shocker,
Who's Shocker? Who's the Shocker guy they're dating? The blacks and the whites. No, they're dating each other. The blacks and the whites are dating Shocker.
Well, and the funny part is like
fucking horror movie.
And the
Did you ever see that horror movie? I didn't see it.
I don't know which one. Oh, Shocker! No,
Shocker. It was
maybe, but maybe I forgot.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do know, but
it's big black fellow. I think he was Zeus from the WWF. and he had a movie.
Was that No Holds Barred?
No, that was the same guy though.
Yeah. But anyway,
He was called Shocker.
yeah, I was just
All right, so
it's good sci-fi, but it's actually it's kind of, if they play their cards right, it kind of could have been like a kind of like in The Expanse, where now in the season 4 they're actually trying, like, they're at Mars, but now they're trying to colonize and use like mine asteroids. And there's a lot of like, hey, there's almost like a class system where the astronauts and the leaders, they get all the good stuff, but just the grunts, they get all the shitty stuff. And I'm just like, yep. Shocker. Life's not fair. Oh, it's weird. Life's not fair on Mars. Like, what are we trying to what are we trying to do here? So it's a good show, but man, it's just frustrating as hell sometimes. Like, the story's fine for the most part, first 2 seasons, but they're already in season 3. It gets ridiculous. Where they have so the big thing, obviously, if you go to the moon, anytime you leave the planet, what's the thing you have to have the most of? You got to have water, air, and that's about it, right? So in season 3, what's that?
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a little lower on the list, but mainly food and water. So it was a rush between, actually, for season 3 they added season 2, it always Americans and the Russians, and then season 3 they kind of added the Elon Musk type of character, where they have a company called Helios. You have a private company trying to get to Mars. It's a 3-way race now. And so something happens to the Russian ship. So you have the Americans and the Russians team up trying to beat Helios. And ultimately, you know who gets there first at the end of the day? The Koreans.
Elon. The Koreans.
The Koreans.
They were in the mix.
They were kind of like, oh, in the background. Yeah.
Oh, you know why?
Because
they flew a Kia there.
Right. But it was just it's one of those dumb things where they had so the Koreans ended up getting there first. Hold on one second. My dog unplugged my headphones.
Good dog.
Bad dog.
Good dog. I'm yawning. Good dog. Good dog.
So you have the Koreans get there first. By the way, spoilers. Sorry, it's 2 years now, but so the Koreans get there first. And he just sat there for months by himself in this little space shuttle with very limited food and limited air. We're just completely throwing the science fiction bit out just to have the Koreans get there first for a story point? It's like, so season 3 just gets dumb, and it's, it's
you could be driving a Kia, fly to Mars with Kia.
And it's not even the good Korea, it's North Korea.
Well, now I'm offended.
You should be. Good thing is, no one in North Korea can see this because they don't have the internet. So anyway.
Well, I mean, why would they even want to go to the Mars? Why would they want to go to Mars? Seems like it wouldn't be something they'd want to pay for.
It gets, like I said, it starts off, it plays itself like it wants to be a smart show, and they go stupid. That's where I get frustrated. If you're going to be smart, then be smart.
All
but
right,
if you're going to be, if you're going to be, silly sci-fi show,
you're going to be fucking dumb.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to go silly sci-fi, you can't go silly sci-fi in season 3. Sorry, you can't.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm watching.
Yawn. How about the plastic surgery from the girl?
You want to talk about Erin Moriarty?
Who's that? The girl from The Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm concerned about with that?
What's that?
how people are going to feel about their NECA figures.
Because that does not look like her. Yeah, because I guess she did a whole thing where, yeah, she did a whole thing where I'm so upset I'm leaving Instagram, and then she came back yesterday. So,
Well, that's because she couldn't handle the lack of dopamine that Instagram performs.
you're not wrong. I say social media is a hell of a thing. So,
like when I'm in line somewhere and somebody thinks that I'm being rude because I'm on my phone, I'm like, no, you got to understand. All these cats that I just watched doing cute things probably saved your life.
yeah. So, and here, I'll bring this up real quick.
I got no rim shot on that one, kids. I don't know why.
Because I'm trying to work here, people.
It wasn't even my joke. I stole it from Liz Mealy.
Yeah. So this is, she's trying to say,
oh, it's all over here.
She's trying to say, yeah, I didn't have plastic surgery. It's like, come on, guys. Like, we're not totally dumb. There you go, Adam. Sorry, it's like a delay. But yeah,
she looks different. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do know she had plastic surgery, but one could argue that she lost some weight, but wasn't a lot of weight to lose there. It's not like she wasn't already in shape.
No, she was already very. I thought she looked great for the first season of The Boys. I did notice like season 2, and I'm like, what are you doing? And then the last, few months, it's like, sweetie, just please stop. Please don't do that.
What made you cringe and say, what are you doing?
She just, like you said, she was already so thin, and then she got thinner, and I'm just like,
oh, okay. So she,
and then, well, I was wondering if it was plastic surgery. I just thought it was weight loss. And then it was clearly you've had some stuff done, and she's young. Like she's not that old at all.
Well, Dr. Doom was thought to be disfigured. His whole, that's why the mask was covering up his disfigurement. When they finally revealed it after so many years, he had one tiny little blemish.
Well, and that was always yeah, she's only 29, but that was one of those things where I thought it was like
smart.
In Hollywood, that means you're 50. Was that official canon? Because I know it was like there was things where it's literally just like a scratch, and other places like no, he's like actually disfigured. So I don't know.
For a little while, it was. I don't know. It was in a story that there's so many multiple versions of everything. Who knows what it is in comic books in 2024? It's whatever fucking sticks to the wall.
Well, that's the problem. It sticks to the wall, and then they're like, no, I'm gonna dismantle it. I'm gonna, what do they call it? Whatever, when they
let's deconstruct it again.
Yeah, let's deconstruct it. It's like, please stop. So, all right, my friend.
The Riddler had one bad day too.
Yeah, I had a bad day reading that. Actually, it might have been more than one bad day, because I think that might take me 2 times to try and finish that freaking nonsense.
I threw my copy of The Killing Joke, which was just a regular copy. It wasn't like a first print or anything, into the garbage with coffee grounds on top of it. Took a picture and sent it to you. That's how much that disgusted me.
Yeah, and now he's
I had a fit.
And now he's
in a fit at 5 and something in the morning.
And he's in the writer's room with James Gunn crafting DC Studios. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what does. So
I got shit to say about that.
I don't know. So
I ain't got shit to say about that, Nick.
So, all right. Well, I think this is a good spot to wrap it up. So, well, thank you so much.
Good show.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see what we're talking about during the show, you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram, The Escape with Nick and Adam. If you have not yet subscribed to the show, please do so. We do the show for fun. It's not like we're trying to make money, but it does mean we wouldn't like to make some money off this one of these days. But ultimately, if you could subscribe to the show, that'd be great. And if you want to take us with you wherever you go, we are on every podcast platform. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and Google Podcasts. So, all right, Adam, any final words for the people?
No, I can't say what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, good
Love
night,
you,
America.
Planet Houston.
Good night, America.